Hikatara Koyanagi, Kazuyo Harada. Two new names on the Richmond City Hall cenotaph. These two men, Japanese Canadians, fought and died in some of the bloodiest battles of the First World War. Descendants and family were on hand for the official rededication, a bittersweet moment.
Hearing that the past matters, that these events do matter, I think that was really vindicating. That was great for me to hear and to see people be like, this is a real event, that these people really did exist. They're just not fragments from the past.
The two were part of a Japanese-Canadian volunteer battalion raised in BC, which offered itself for the war effort.
And the local politicians in British Columbia wrote letters to protest that they did not want an all-Japanese Canadian battalion, and eventually the Prime Minister wrote back to say thank you, but no thank you. And so this was a big blow to the Japanese Canadian community.
But many of those men didn't take that lying down. Determined to serve king and country, they traveled to Alberta, desperate for more recruits, and enlisted in battalions there.
They were hurting for numbers. It was right after the Battle of the Somme, and so any able-bodied man who volunteered was welcome. So this is how the disbanded Japanese Canadian Battalion of Vancouver of British Columbia moved over to Alberta and joined the ranks.
The legacy of Japanese Canadians in the Great War has long been obscured by anti-Japanese sentiment before, during, and after the Second World War. The detainment, expropriation, and subsequent exclusionary policies against Japanese Canadians weighed heavily on those families.
Knowing that her uncle died and then knowing that this happened right afterwards, I think was challenging for my grandmother. And so it left an unspoken legacy that no one ever talked about. You talk about the war, you talk about family history, there's this hushed silence where it's the past.
But today, a small acknowledgement, a recognition of two Japanese-Canadian war heroes in the community where they lived. In Richmond, Jack Morse, City News.